Happy first day of spring, everyone.
Hi everyone, it's Missy, and I know it's almost the end of March and I'm actually looking at a snowdrift right now. I was planning on doing a garden update. So I'm just going to try to climb up this thing. Snowdrift is about, well, it's more than 8 feet, maybe about 10 feet high. And I'm just going to walk. I usually am walking on grass over to my vegetable garden. And here we go. I mean, our fence is 4 feet tall and it's just buried. And here's my vegetable garden. And last year at this time there was no snow. You could put out a cold frame and there is just no way I'm getting into this garden anytime soon. And to give you an idea, I mean, you can see the first story of our house. The drift is right under the window. Yep. So I did start a garden indoors, and I'll show you how I'm doing that.
So as you can see, I took out my AeroGarden Bounty unit and have my seed starter system in it. I have my cabbage on the very right. I have my celery right next to that. The portion that's taped off, there's nothing growing there, so you just tape it off so the light doesn't penetrate the water. And then of course I have my peppers. And over on the left-hand side, the very left-hand side, is the impatiens that I'm trying to grow.
So this is the book that I use when I plan my vegetable garden each year. It's called the Week by Week Vegetable Gardener's Handbook. This one I found on Amazon. You can tailor it to your own area for hardiness zone, because it basically asks you when your frost-free date is, and for me it's May 15th where I live, and you could just Google that. And then they set up a calendar for 7 weeks before frost-free date, you know. So you just go into your book, and each chapter is like that. So this is 10 weeks before average date of last frost. So my date is, it was Ash Wednesday, March 6th. So that was when I planted my cauliflower, broccoli, kohlrabi is when you could plant that, cabbage, and that's all that stuff that you saw in my AeroGarden. And then it tells you how to store your leftover seed, gives you ideas for garden ideas, tips and tricks. Now, I'm in mid-spring, so I kind of like how this book also breaks out the seasons. And so I'm going to be looking at starting my peas, spinach, carrots, beets, leaf lettuce, peppers I already got started, parsley, and so forth. And then that just allows me to prepare myself for the upcoming couple, 2-3 weeks of what I need to do and what I need to get at my store. So 9 weeks, that's when you plant the peppers. But this week, the start of spring, is 8 weeks. So I'm going to go back. March 20th will be 8 weeks for me. Here we go. So 8 weeks, this is when I want to remove half of the mulch covering of plants to show signs of growth. Well, as you can see from my video, there's no way I'm getting into that vegetable garden. So I am going to be transplanting my plants into larger containers, and I will be making kind of like a greenhouse setup in my house for a little bit until I can get those out in the garden. And I can't get at my horseradish or anything right now. But what you can do is you can start your horseradish, instead of starting it in the garden, you could start it in a pot and then put it out in the garden later. So horseradish is very hardy, so you could do that with that one. And it's just basically giving you tips and tricks too for your newbies on what is a true leaf. Like, you want to start transplanting your plants when you have your first true leaf set on, and as you can see in the peppers, they are ready to transplant. So it really breaks things out, useful tips and tricks, and I found that this book is very helpful for any level of experience in gardening. So if you want to check it out, and I don't like writing in my books just because I don't, so I just mark it off in this calendar. I started with my frost-free date, and then I just went back and did my weeks, so that way I know exactly where I am when I look at my calendar for when I need to start my things. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.